No, I don't.
Yeah.
But sometimes I wish I have them.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and sometimes, a lot of times I'll write a script and I talk off of it a lot. So, I keep it sort of as a guideline, and then sometimes a story will come up or I'll want to say something off script, and so, I kind of do that, and then I'll go back to the script. But it's just a really good way to kind of keep your confidence up and keep your train of thought, But either way, if you work from a script or from an outline or just off the top of your head, this information is going to really help you to develop a strategy that's going to help you feel more confident on your calls, and it'll help you really establish a connection between you and your audience, which is ultimately hopefully going to translate into lots of sales, right? So when you get the formula down, you will see an increase in your sales conversions. If nothing else, you'll see people will stay on the line longer. So first of all, you really want to be thinking what your overall message is and what you're trying to convey to your audience with your teleseminar. So today we're going to help you all create teleseminar scripts that rock. And the overall message is that if you've got the formula down, you're going to have a great teleseminar, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're also good when I've actually interviewed people on teleseminars. I love when people provide me with a script. It just makes it that much easier.
Exactly. Yeah, so if you're going to be a guest, it's a good thing to do too. And if nothing else, give questions that people can ask, right?
Absolutely.
So the next thing that you want to focus on when you're kind of thinking about your overall, before you even sit down to write the script, is what results your listeners are going to see as a result of listening to this information, how it's going to help their life, if it's going to help, if you're doing a health-based, how it's going to help build their health, if it's business-based, how it's going to increase their bottom line, or in some way, what the results are that they're going to see from this call. And then third, why are you the person to be sharing this information? In other words, how does your expertise fit into this particular call? So, for instance, Lacey and I are teleseminar hosts. We're teleseminar guests. We've been on tons of calls, and we help teleseminar hosts to promote their calls and build their list. So that's why we are, we really want to see you all be very successful. So that's why we're doing this call. And fourth, what is the pain? So what information are you giving to your audience that's going to help solve some type of a pain for them? I know a lot of people really writing a teleseminar script. Some of my scripts are 26, 30 pages long, and that's for an hour-long teleseminar. And that, for a lot of people, in and of itself can be daunting. How do I sit down and write a script, and if I don't have a formula or exactly know what I'm talking about, how am I going to make this thing 30 pages long, right? So I think, for this call and for, just for an example, the pain that we're solving is we're going to help give you a formula so that when you sit down to write your script, you're going to know how to bang it out without, a lot of struggle. Really what you're going to need to look for is how to put your information into this formula. And then lastly, what do you have in store for people who want more, and what does that look like? Okay, so those are the 5 things that you really, want to keep in mind.
Okay, let's reiterate that. So the first one is, what is your message, and what are you trying to convey to your audience with your teleseminar? The second are, what are the results? What results are your listeners going to see as a result from listening in and learning information from your teleseminar? Third, why are you the person to be sharing this information? And fourth, what pain is this information solving for your audience? And do you have any proof in the form of testimonials or direct client stories? And lastly, what do you have in store for people who want more? And what does that look like? Okay.
Right. So, and I actually, kind of have this little model. It's MREPS. So M is the message, R are the results, E is the expert, P is the pain, and S is for sales. It doesn't really sound, spell anything, MREPS.
MREPS.
But yeah, MREPS. But it's an easy way to kind of keep in your mind as you're developing your teleseminar. What is my, am I sticking to the